first day of the festival. And Andy Mack, I'm going to start with you on this occasion. Once again, Willie Mullins, huge hand with Champagne Fever. Again, a horse really, really impossible to knock is what he's done so far.
Well, you wouldn't say it's impossible to knock. His last day in Leopardstown wasn't exactly perfect when he went and ate the second last. But his performance in Cheltenham last year was brilliant, and he's definitely the best horse in the race, I think. Rock on Ruby was a brilliant hurdler, but looks a bit small. He's 9 years old. Watching him jumping fences, it looks fine watching him jumping there, but he's running a 3-runner race where one fell and he ran a 2-runner race. So basically he's hacked around with one other very inferior horse both days and been under absolutely no pressure, and the jumping hasn't been foot perfect. He's not that big, so you'd have to say he's not going to be as good a chaser as he was a hurdler. If Champagne Fever brings his A game, I think he's unbeatable in this. Okay, thanks Andrew. Davey, Trifolium, how would you rate his chances?
Yeah, he's an exceptional jumper, which is a big thing, and he also ran well in the Supreme Novices 2 years ago, so that's also a plus. He's not your ideal type. He missed a year in between going chasing through injury, so he's definitely a stronger horse than he was 2 years ago. For me, I couldn't imagine Champagne Fever running in an Arkle because I didn't think he had enough pace. I think he just got away with it over hurdles last year, but that day he ran in Leopardstown. He has plenty of pace, and he's my idea of the winner of this. And just for some reason, AP was saying there Saturday, he was talking to Ruby, he said Rock on Ruby is his biggest danger. He said he was very impressed by him, very impressed by his jumping. I wasn't. I'd have to agree with Andy. I think chasing is an afterthought with him, and he doesn't seem to be quick enough away from the back of his fences. So dodging bullets doesn't run, does he? He goes to entry, is it? Does he? Yeah, and
I think Hinterland is probably his main chance in it.
Yeah. So like, if Champagne Fever jumps out and goes a good gallop like he did in the Supreme Novices last year, he's going to be very, very hard to beat.
Couch Ellen King has a good record in the race. He's won it 2 times in the past. He's got Valdez here, who must have a useful chance.
Yeah, the trouble with Valdez, he's another flat track horse. He's run a couple of times at Cheltenham, he got beat, and someone like Allen's clever enough to run horses at the right places. He was all out to beat Arno the other day. But Charles Burns is, I think, are probably run in the Grand Annual. I don't think the form's good enough. I think the English we've got the worst lot I can ever remember in the Arkle. I think there's more chance of England winning the World Cup in Brazil as we have winning this, and that's fuck all.
There's absolutely no chance.
In all laughing joke, we won the rugby Saturday, though. So. I'm going to back 2 in this race. I disagree with Davey about Champagne Fever's lack of pace. He didn't stop him beating my 10 or yours in jet ski in the Supreme last year. And yeah, and I think if he'd have been in the Champion Hurdle, he's got to be 4-5 to 1 for the Champion Hurdle. He's the best horse in this race by a country mile. Because the English are absolutely rubbish as far as I'm concerned. No wonder Paul's not running dodging bullets. It was 23 lengths behind Champagne Fever last year. He realised it can't win. Rock on Ruby's a 9-year-old. The last 9-year-old to win this was Danish Flight back in 1988 for the late Jimmy Fitzgerald. I can't have any of the English horses. So I'm back Champagne Fever, but having listened to what Davey said, I'm going to back Trifolium as a saver at the price because he did run well. 31 Cinders in Ashes, not beaten far. And with a better ground to him, Davey, with it as well. So I think in this race you can definitely back the 2. Champagne Fever and Trifolium, it'd be an Irish 1-2 for me.
And does anyone here, I don't know, but does anyone here know, or would they be worried about, Champagne Fever was meant to go for the Irish Arkle and missed that, and then he was meant to run since and didn't run, and is there any...
They say that he's an unbelievable hard horse to get fit, and that they have to work him extremely hard, and that's the reason they were given the other day, and he done a fierce piece of work Saturday morning or something. The boys were talking about him, saying away from him. Your man said that he's absolutely tongs in the road.
The thing about it, Willie's got him in 2 years at Cheltenham, he's 2 out of 2. I mean, there's no one better than Willie at getting them bang right on the day.
I'm not quite sure if I remember, did he make the running in the bumper?
No, I don't think he did, no. Oh, he did, sorry.
And he made the running in the Supreme Novices, and there's one way you could get him beat is to take him on. I think the day he got beaten in Leopardstown was the day that he wasn't able to lead. So I do think he's a horse that needs to lead. So if there was, the only worry I'd have about him is if there was a horse with fierce pace in it that was going to take the lead off him.
Would Giggleston take him on with Arno, Davy?
As far as I know, Arno goes to talk back when I used to be chatting to him. Was that he was going to Aintree for the flat track. That's where Arno was going, but I don't think, I just feel that Trifolium could make it now. He's well capable of making it, and he's loads of pace, but that's the only worry I have for Champagne Fever.
Andrew Lynch, as Andy Mack mentioned there earlier, I mean, he obviously made a big mistake in the race in Post Novice Chase. He finished third. He hit a fence. I mean, is there any doubts in your mind as to his jumping ability?
No, he's been a savage horse apart from that mistake. But like Davey said, that was the only day he was being taken on for the lead. Going through the race, I can't see anything that will take him on, so I presume Ruby will get an easy lead. I have to disagree with the rest of it. Bit rock on Ruby. He is a class horse. He is a champion hurdle winner. He only hacked around in a few chases, but he's been very impressive. And you need to stay in this race. And Champagne Fever will go flat out, and I think Rock on Ruby will stay on.
There was a statistic there. They were talking about there a couple of years ago that the highest rated hurdler practically nearly every year wins this race. So whether that is still intact, I don't know, and I would imagine that is Rock.
You're absolutely right. Just looking at the stats, only one of the last 11 winners has not a 142 plus rating over hurdles.
Right, and I think that was two. The horse in question was
the one that hadn't.
McCain's horse that got beaten, I think, overturned, which would be the same along the similar profile as Rock and Ruby. So
he was 9 out of 9. At 2 out.
Again, on the betting front, Rob, I mean, this has been a fairly handy race for punters to work out. Only one of the last 23 winners have won at a double figure price, and so it narrows the field down to 4, really, doesn't it, on this occasion?
Yeah, all the greats have won it. Moscow, Zertiup, Simon Sieg, but last year, Sprinter the year before. It's generally a race that favourites run well in. Champagne actually schooled over fences before he ran over hurdles, and I think they were in two minds whether to go over fences last season. Before he even jumped a fence in public, we went 8s, and ever since, like, he's been the obvious horse all season for the Arkle. They've been raving about him, and I suppose the worry with him, he tends to throw in a stinker. He threw one in at Nace last year, and I don't think that they really knew what was wrong with him, even though they might have said there was something wrong with him. Yeah, and he just went out like a light, I think, as well. I think he did, yeah. He just ran. He barely finished. Now he did try to lead in the Royal Bond, and Jelski beat him. Ruby tried to go hard that day. So, listen, it's not a case if he goes out in front, he wins, but it's a case, I think, you're basically backing him to turn up. I think if he turns up like the lads have said, he's one of those horses that brings his A game. They've always said that he's a Cheltenham Gold Cup horse. You know, Kicking King was second in this. War of Attrition, I think, was 6th or 7th. They've all won Gold Cups, so that's the long-term aim. But I think he's second to Will Chief, wasn't he? Yeah. He ran it anyway. And War of Attrition and horses like that. So that's the long-term target. But I'd say he'd be good enough to win an Arkle, and whatever happens next year's the main deal with him. Okay, thanks, Rob. Brian Flanagan, can get your view on the race. Trifolium looks the each way value, really, doesn't he?
Yeah, I'm surprised Trifolium is not getting more press. I thought his Arkle win was very, very good. I thought Champagne Fever, no, I don't know, I've never ridden a horse in a race and made a mistake, but I thought he ran out of petrol very, very quick after he made that mistake. He just nearly stopped. A big plus for me for Trifolium is the trainer. I think Charles Burns is a very, very, very shrewd trainer, particularly at Cheltenham. His record there is incredible for a small trainer. Weapons, Amnesty, Solid. And I can see this fella running the big race. I mean, he won the Irish Arkle easy, beating Mazel Tov, Felix Younger. Good horses, like, you know, no slouches. Obviously Rock on Ruby is the unknown quantity, but I wouldn't be getting carried away with what he's done so far. I think Valdez needs good ground. Hinterland, maybe if the ground dried up, could be a bit of a dark horse. He's a second season novice. So he's a lot of experience against a lot of inexperienced horses. So I think Trifolium is a cracking each way bet, and maybe at an even bigger price, Hinterland could be equally as good an each way bet.
Yep, I certainly agree with you on Trifolium. Rob, what price did you say Trifolium was again, Rob?
Trifolium is 11 to 2.
11 to 2, yeah. Okay. Some bit of each way value perhaps there. What price is Hinterland currently? About 10s? 14s, okay.
16 with the couch.
16 with the couch. Okay, we're going to move on to